Today the Kosher Kitchen, talking about hagalat kelim, how we can kosherize dishes. All right, we'll continue, Bez Hashem, and raise some interesting questions. This class is sponsored by the Mucklestone family. Bez Hashem for the good health of the family, and Bezrat Hashem, easy labor, healthy baby, healthy mama, healthy papa, healthy familia. Okay, amen. Bezrat Hashem. So, hagalat kelim. Try to remember this wording. Hagalat kelim. You're going to hear that especially close to Passover, when people want to kosherize kelim. There's two different ways to kosherize your kelim. You know what kelim means? Kelim stand for? Vessels, utensils, dishes.
Yes.
So, good. So, hagalat kelim can be done from dairy to meat to dairy, okay? You can do from chametz to non-chametz, kosher chametz. Basically, we're bringing the vessel, the dish, to a parv status. So parv, it's like, not dairy and not meat. You can choose to do with it whatever you want. But it's vital, it's very important to know how to perform the hagalah. Okay? So, I think we mentioned already, we talked about immersing it in the mikveh. This is when you kosherize, but now we're talking about how to kosherize it, in which way, where to dip it, what temperature, which utensil, which dish we can, which we cannot. Okay? As I remember last time we left off talking about what we need to do before hagalah, prior to dipping it in the pot or starting this process, is to make sure that it's completely clean. Make sense? Now, it's always best to do it after 24 hours that you didn't use this dish. Okay? A plate, a pot, whatever. So the rule says of the Torah, of our sages, that after 24 hours, the taste that it's absorbed in the pot, in the dish, is kind of like spoiled already, okay? So it won't throw back the original taste as if it's within 24 hours. This is, I think, what we discussed last time. I think I would say 6. If one koshers a dish which becomes unkosher within the last 24 hours without mixing soap or some other agent into the water, the hagalah can still be effective if there is 60 times as much water as the volume of the dish. I can now go measure, so it's problematic, but it's an option. If there is less water than that, the hagalah is not effective. Hagalah must be done in boiling water, plain or with an addition which aids cleanliness and spoils ta'am. There's a term called, I hope you remember that. Next time you guys have to come with notes, because you have to write it. If you imagine to yourself, someone asks you, what is noten ta'am livgam? So blah, 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 blah. What did they say? Noten ta'am livgam, explain. Not ta'am, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? But if someone says, explain to me about hagalah, you heard that before. Noten ta'am livgam, noten, give, ta'am, taste, livgam, spoil. So it's a term that it's good to know. So these chemicals actually spoiling the original ta'am. It could be bleach, it could be dish soap, right? Whatever the dish absorbed is now mixed with the power of this chemical, but in no other substance. Thus, soap or bleach are acceptable additions, but not machine oil, which would leave the dish to be koshered sticky. I don't know, someone will think maybe WD-40 it would be a good idea. So there is a whole list of what WD-40 can do except a non-rusted, right? So some people might think we can use the same material for that. It will clean it, it will help the cleaning. So the halacha says no. Only cleaning agent that are manufactured to clean. They have some sort of chemical in it, okay, that breaks the fat. Okay? Okay. I don't want to expand on that, just let's keep it simple. So it's important that we have a chemical that has this acid. Right? One may boil water for hagalah over a gas flame, over a coals, over an electric burner, or in any manner, which induction, for example, any manner which allows the utensils to be kashered, to be inserted into the water while the water is still boiling. So you might have, either you have a pot, big pot, or a big barrel. Okay. What do you call a vat? V-A-T, vat? Huh? Vat. It's a barrel. Obviously not a wooden barrel, right? We're talking about a metal one. You can put it on the fire. I don't know, did you ever see the process of hagalah before Passover that many shuls, many synagogues does? Do you see it? Usually they do it a week before. And they're announcing the time, and you see a big barrel on a gas, strong flame, and people come with the dishes. It's a great experience to bring the kids and to show them pictures, participate in such a mitzvah. So, either way, as long as the water is still boiling, you have the big pot or the big barrel, and then you take the one that you want to kosherize, you dip it once, you take it out. Obviously, it's already clean, and it's kosherized. Okay, one may boil the water in any pot or vessel which is large enough to fit the utensil to be koshered. Right? What if it's too big? I just have a big pot, it doesn't fit to the pot, it doesn't fit to the barrel. I can barely put half of it in.
Spin it.
So it's a trick. That's a way. Maybe we can do that. But there's something else you need to do. In such case, we'll see it in a minute. Hagalah may be done in an unkosher pot or vat. Oh, yeah, vat here. As long as it was not used within the past 24 hours. Which part need to wait 24 hours?
The big pot that you're going to
and day of dishes.
Yeah.
Right? It follows that dairy utensils may be koshered in meat pots and meat utensils in dairy pots, as long as the vessels was not used within the past 24 hours. So people, they're bringing dairy, they're bringing meat, they're mixing all of them together, becomes part. It's all good. One may kosher meat and dairy utensils together, lechatchila, to begin with. Sephardim do not kosher them together either, as long as they have not been used for the past 24 hours. After 24 hours, though, they will kosher them together. B'diavad, they will kosher them together within 24 hours. So after the action, b'diavad, you already did it, it was within 24 hours, it's kosher. But preparation and leaving it aside for 24 hours is a must. Okay, they will kosher them together within 24 hours of their becoming unkosher by mixing soap or some other agent which is noten ta'am livgam, like I said before, into the boiling water. The power of the chemicals is to spoil the original ta'am that the dishes observe. Now, let's talk a little bit about the hagalah procedure. But what I'm saying right now, people can do it at home with a small pot for small dishes. All right? You can do that for forks, knife, spoon, all the silverware, so forth and so on. So, hagalah procedure. When inserting a utensil into the hagalah water, the pot or vat of water must be over the fire. And the water must be at rolling boil. Okay? You have to see bubbles all the time. Utensils do not need to be immersed deeply. It is sufficient for them to be covered by water. As long as they're covered completely, it's fine. The water must touch the utensil on all sides. So definitely you're not going to use your hands. What are you going to use? Some sort of, what you call this? I don't know, piece of metal. Ma? Hooks?
Tongs.
Tongs, okay, tongs. Plier, for example, plier. Okay. Now, imagine you hold the pot, or let's say you're holding a knife or a spoon. It's all metal. With the plier. Oh, you all know what plier means, right? You dip it, you take it out. Kosher? What's the problem?
The pliers maybe.
Right, it's touching this part that it's touching, the water barely touched it. So you can do that, but you have to loosen up a little bit. Hold it loose so water will reach out this part. Take it out. Like we do in the mikveh when we're immersing the kelim, the dishes. We hold it gently so water will touch all parts. Okay? The water must touch the utensils on all sides. Pots and bowls should be inserted sideways or upright so that air does not get trapped inside. If the utensil is held by, pliers, I have it here. Seth, why didn't you tell me? It should be held loosely so that the water can reach the part of the utensil which is held. Capish? Good. Utensils should not be left in the water, the boiling water, too long, nor should they be immersed twice in a row, since by these the time which was expelled from them, whatever they observed, now it's getting out. If you do it twice, it might absorb it back because it's too hot. Okay, expelled from them could be reabsorbed. However, if either of these is done with a utensil which was not used within the past 24 hours, the hagalah is still effective. Now, try to answer the question: what do you do if the utensil is too big? It happens all the time. If the utensil is too large to be immersed all at once, one may immerse it partially and turn it in the water until all sides have been inserted. Alternately, one may use the procedure described in section 19. We're getting it. Everything we do, usually we have a berachah, right? So what's the berachah here? Anyone can guess? What's the berachah for this action? When we kosherizing dishes. If you know the berachah, I'm offering a prize on behalf of Ohev Israel Foundation. Seth, give me a number.
I know the berachah, Rabbi.
20 bucks. People won't even open the book. Give me a number. $100. What's the berachah? $100 right now.
I can say, Rabbi.
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu.
No, never say Hashem's name. Never say Amonai. I say Hashem. Baruch atah Hashem.
Yes, Amonai. Baruch atah Amonai.
Baruch atah Hashem.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al hakelim.
Al hakelim, agalat kelim. Did you hear what she said?
Blessed are you,
Yes.
Adonai, our God.
Don't say Hashem's name.
Okay.
Tov.
Amonai.
Say Hashem. Baruch atah Hashem. So nobody is really saying anything. Let me see how many people we have here in this group. We have 8 over here, and none of you. Some of you googling it. I know it. I can see.
What was the question? I just got off work.
What was the question? The question is, we're offering $100 if you know. What's the blessing you do over kosherizing utensils?
Immersing vessels in a mikveh.
Not immersing, kosherizing with the boiling water.
Well, this just says immersing.
So the answer is, there is no bracha. You could say 1,000. Oh, yeah. There is no bracha for kashering utensils, since doing so is only prerequisite for using them, but not a mitzvah aseh. It's not a mitzvah to do. It's just a preparation. Okay? Tricky question. Next. 18. After the hagalah, there is a custom to wash or soak the utensils in cold water. It's not a must, but it's custom. Okay. I'm going to share with you another way of hagalah to kosherize the dishes. It's a little bit more complicated, but I saw that they do that as well. Another acceptable form of hagalah is to kasher a pot or other heat-proof dish in itself. One fills the pot or dish with water. You want to kosherize the pot itself, okay? You have a pot that's used for soup. It used to be meat. You want to use it parve or dairy or vice versa. And you don't have any barrel, you don't have anything else. You want to kosherize this item. So what do? One fills the pot or dish with water to the brim and brings the water to a boil. Then one gently drops a white, hot piece of metal or stone into the water. It is what it is. While it is boiling, so that the boiling water spills over the sides and kashers the outsides of the pot or dish. In this manner, the outside and inside of the pot or dish touch the boiling water at the same time. The pot or dish is kashered. This method is useful for kashering pots which are too large to fit into any other pot, or when one's large kettles are ben yomo, within 24 hours. Ben yomo, the same day, son of the day, ben yomo. So ben yomo means within 24 hours. You know what ben means, right?
Son.
And yomo, it's a day. So ben yomo, every time you hear the term ben yomo, which means within 24 hours. Lo ben yomo, meaning over 24 hours. Afterwards, one spills out the water and washes the pot or dish in cold water, just as for the usual method of hagalah. Okay? Any questions? We good? Okay. Before I continue here, let me share something that some people ask me, so before I forget, about kosherizing certain material. For example, toaster. People have toaster at home. Usually they do with it, what do you do with your toaster at home? The cheese, sandwiches, whatever. So what people do... The toaster oven, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know any other toaster?
Toaster oven.
The toaster is like the one where it pops up, like the little
No, talking the toaster with the presser.
toaster oven.
Toaster, I call it toaster oven, okay. So, what people do, they take, let's say, a sandwich, they put hard cheese in it, and they're wrapping it with an aluminum foil. And then they do the same with aluminum foil, but now they're putting salami. This is a big mistake. You can't. You have to separate. You have one for this, one for that. Aluminum foil is not good enough. It might help, to keep it clean, but you have to have one for dairy, one for meat. Okay? We have the Shabbat urn for the hot water. Usually it's parv. It's not usually, it's always parv. But people take advantage and putting on the top of the urn, they're putting, dairy food sometimes for a quick defrost. Berachahs, empanada, piece of a schnitzel. Okay, they're putting on an aluminum foil or something, so one on the top. Some even have, a dairy, a Nescafe coffee with that. They put it to keep it warm. Whatever you do, going to make it either dairy or meat. You have to be careful. All right? So it needs to be kosherized if you want to put something else. Okay, all dishes that made out of glass. Okay, it says in Avot Rabbi Natan that this is the rule. The rule is that anything that made out of glass, they always parv, no matter what you use. Let's say you use in the glass of a cup made out of glass. You put milk. You wash it, and then now you put soup that is meat. You wash it, it always remains parv. Because the glass does not absorb. It doesn't absorb and it doesn't spit. So they don't need to do any hechsher. You need to kosherize it in between. Just to make sure they are completely 100% clean. No residue. And it doesn't matter if you use it for hot or cold. Hot milk or cold. Hot meat, doesn't matter. Now, what if someone uses it for a non-kosher food? Okay, one of your workers, you ask for a glass, you give him a glass. He's not Jewish, Gentile. And he used to put inside, a whole, let's say it's a ball made out of glass, a whole meat that he bought from El Rancho, and he ate from it. Do I need to kosherize it? Everybody saying yes? Only said say no. No?
You need to wash it with soap.
You need to wash it with soap. Why? Because this is the rule. They don't observe and they don't speak. It doesn't matter. Okay. Kosher, non-kosher, meat. Okay?
Wouldn't that technically kosher it though? It would be kosher.
Hmm?
But it's not.
You clean it and it's parv again.
It's a glass.
It's a glass.
Yeah. So
Remember. Yes. Always think about the rules. Tricky question, but think if it doesn't observe the dairy or the meat, it doesn't matter if it's non-kosher meat. Okay? Many communities, Ashkenazi community, are more strict about this halakha, and they don't mix meat and dairy in regards to glass. If someone asks you, says it's okay, please don't forget to mention that this is a Sephardi. So you have to. And Ashkenazi that wants to be lenient, he can. Okay? Because this is just as stringency. Okay? In our house, we also more stringent about it because I know it's okay, but we had a concern that the kids will mix even regular cups, like a clay, a plastic, whatever. So he says, there's a rule. This is the dairy area, this is the meat, forget it. What about Pyrex and Duralex? I don't know if you're familiar with these names. Made out of Pyrex. Pyrex, yeah. It depends. It depends on the coating, the quality and all that. But in general, Pyrex and Duralex.
No kosher.
Those that you baking, putting in an oven or cooking it with. Okay? Same thing. You cook, you let's say you use it for meat. You clean it, you can use it now for dairy. My house, I have a few of them, but they're designated for meat because we're more stringent. Okay, more strict about that, but in general, it's not a problem. The only condition is make sure they are completely clean before. What about clay dishes, utensils made out of clay or porcelain? Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Remember we mentioned last week about the Chinese, what do you call it? China dish or China silver? What do you call it?
Bone china?
They just call it China, but China is the name of a country.
Yeah, it's just called China.
It's called China.
It's called China.
It's China.
Because it normally came from China, so the name just...
So I tell someone, can you eat in China? Well, China is far away. What do you mean?
On China. You would have
Can you eat on China?
Yeah, they would know that.
Oh, they would know.
Chinaware. Chinaware.
Oh, chinaware. Chinaware. Where is that guy that says chinaware? Who said that? Joseph, thank you. So chinaware, okay, chinaware. Made out of clay, right? And it's covered with a nice coating. We know the rule that anything made out of clay or porcelain, if it becomes non-kosher or mixed, there's no way to kosherize it. Thing is, like chinaware could be very expensive. Hundreds and sometimes even thousands of dollars. Someone mixed it, and now, what you're going to do? It's called hefsed merubeh. The lost, the value of this chinaware is pretty expensive. There's any way, in case it's very expensive, to kosherize it. So the halacha says yes. Usually when it's not a big loss, someone that costs $2, $3, $4, $5, we don't even mess with that. Just throw it. Or give it to, don't throw it. We usually, if it happens something like that, we give it to the maid or a Gentile. They can use it. I can't, so why to, it's a waste, right? But chinaware, so the halacha says that our sages were very, how should I say it, considerate. Okay? So people won't lose valuable items. So they said in such case that it's very expensive, or not necessarily expensive, it's like inheritance from, 4 or 5 generations. It's expensive to you. It's worth a lot to you, right? It has great value to the family. So the halacha says, if something ever happen, you can go through the process of hagalah, boiling 3 times after 24 hours rest. Put it aside, 24 hours, and don't go through the hagalah 3 times. It could be consecutive. 3 times. You wait. Another time. Okay. So I'm going to skip here the old explanation. But bottom line is, anywhere that our sages permitted to fix and rectify something, because otherwise it's considered a big loss, it means that even a small item or cheap items could be permitted the same way. But our sages are very considerate in people's property, so they said that only in the case that there is a big loss. All right. Okay, let's skip that. You got the idea, right? Okay, that's fine. The rule says anything that you use in cold, you kosherize it with cold, hot with hot. What if you usually the use is with cold, and you kosherize it with hot? It's even better. Okay? But the minimum required is cold with cold, hot with hot. Okay? Oh, the next topic here,
Can I ask one quick question?
we're going to talk about eating human flesh. That's the next one. People do that all the time, you know that? What do you mean no? You bite your own skin. Sometimes you spit, sometimes you don't. I saw you, don't deny it. It raises a lot of questions. The rule says anything that comes from an impure animal, non-kosher animal, cannot be eaten. So let's say donkey, can I eat donkey? Can I eat, uses milk? No. So if a human flesh is not kosher, how can a baby use the milk, the mother? Food for thought. Okay, so we'll talk about it as option. Yes.
About the bee.
The bee comes from, we explained that before. It's through a different system, not through the body. Yes.
Say I inherit a set of china.
What is it?
A set of chinaware?
Set of china, yes.
Okay, and I'm only using it for meat.
Okay.
Only using it for meat.
Okay.
I can wash it, soak in water, dry it. I can't use it for dairy,
Okay.
but and in the future I can just use it for meat,
Yes.
and I'm okay.
Yeah. No problem. I had a question a long time ago for someone that becomes more frum, more religious. His parents was not. So they moved to the Eruv and they got this chinaware for maybe from the grandmother. And they said that it was always in an exhibit. They never used it. But now they want to use it for Passover. They have a big set. Passover is right around the corner. And they want to use it for Passover. But they don't know if the grandmother, how she used it. If she ever used it. And if it was kosher. If she used it, it's definitely non-kosher because her grandma didn't. So what we will answer to them, you can kosherize it, right? In that manner, 3 times. Some says the best method is to go 1 time, 24 hours wait. 1 time, and 2nd time, wait 24 hours. And 3rd time, wait 24 hours. And that's the best way. It's completely powerful. All right? And Jesse, about the bees that you mentioned, you can all read about it and Google it. It's nonetheless, we're not allowed to eat bees. It's one of the insects, right? As we prohibited to us. But the nectar, you call nectar, that they take from the flowers, go through a special pipe outside of the stomach. It's not part of the stomach. They manufacture it in a special pocket, and then they puke it and throw it out. Okay, so honey, we're actually eating a bee's puke. Sorry to discuss you, but that's just a fact. So it doesn't go through the regular system of eating. This is why it's kosher.
It'd be pollen.
Pollen?
Pollen, yeah, not nectar.
Okay, pollen, nectar. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So we did that. Conditions for hagalah. All right. Conditions for hagalah. 20. Lechatchila. Oh, I said that already. I did that, I'm sorry. No, we didn't. One may kosher a few utensils at once, or one after the other, as long as they have not been used with. We actually discussed that, right? Yeah. 21. Hagalah may be done by. Who can do hagalah? What does that mean? Has to be an adult? What about a child? What age? What about a non-Jew? Can a non-Jew, a Gentile, do hagalah for me? You know, Seth, I noticed you're very strict. Gotta chill out a little bit. Hagalah may be done by anyone. Whether a Jew or Gentile, man or woman, adult or child. If it is done by a child or Gentile, though, a reliable adult Jew must watch how it is done. So the action can be done by others. What's the reason for a child or Gentile? A child, let's say a Gentile is, 20, 30 years old.
Okay. But he might not let go of the fire, though, right?
Right, because the Gentile doesn't know the halacha.
Yeah.
Child the same, doesn't know the halacha, and also out of safety. Right. It's kind of like in the restaurants here, the kosher restaurant. I think most of the workers inside are Gentile. It has to be supervised because they don't think about meat and dairy and kosherizing the cilantro and doing that. You'll tell them what to do, they will do. And many times for them it's hard, they don't understand the concept. So they might give you, let's say, they made a salad with kosher cilantro. Tell them, you see this area? This is the kosher cilantro you can use, or parsley. Okay? One time, he sees it's not there, he says, no, it's not there, I'm going to take from the refrigerator. You'll take from the refrigerator, but it's not kosher. You don't know, he doesn't understand the concept. So this is why we always have to have a supervisor. Call it the mashgiach, a supervisor. Okay? Same with hagalah. Yes, it can be done by a Gentile, but it have to be supervised for that reason. All right? Any questions? Good. Continue. One, can we kosherize the dishes or the utensils on Shabbat or Yom Tov? If not, which melacha we break?
Can you repeat the question?
Can. If we can kosher utensils through hagalah on Shabbat or Yom Tov? If yes, why? If no, why?
I'm going to venture an answer, Rabbi, and I expect part might be right, part might be wrong, it all might be wrong anyway. If it's cold, yes. If it's hot, that requires boiling, so only if the water were prepared before Shabbat began and boiling. Otherwise, no.
Okay, very interesting. That's not a problem. That's not the problem. What's the answer? It's not the
No.
Listen,
No.
listen to this. Listen to this. One may not kosher utensils through hagalah on Shabbat or Yom Tov, as it might be a form of the melacha of metaken. Metaken means
Cooking.
Ma?
Cooking.
No. Do you want a
It's
cookie?
work on Shabbat.
Can you get him a cookie?
Working on Shabbat, right?
It's working on Shabbat.
No.
No?
Un momento, por favor. It's
See.
called mesaken. The Ashkenazis call it mesaken or metaken. Metaken means to rectify, to fix. So you take a dish that can't be used, and you take it through a process that you metaken it, you fix it, you're rectifying it. It's something you cannot do on Shabbat. It's one of the melachot, metaken. Like say, the chair broke, the legs, on Shabbat. What do you need to do? Put it aside. You can fix it on Shabbat, but it's no problem. Just putting the screw back. I'm not even tighten it. No, it's metaken. Because prior to that, you cannot use it. Now, when you just push it, it's called metaken. You're fixing it. You can't. Same with glasses, and you need to learn the 39 melachot to understand that. So that's the concept. For Ashkenazim, for example, to dip, to immerse utensils on Shabbat in the mikveh, it's considered part of metaken also. You can't use it, but if you dip it, you put it in the mikveh, you immerse it in the mikveh, it's Sfaradim says metaken. You can do it even on Shabbat, like we learned before. So one may not kosher utensils through hagalah on Shabbat or Yom Tov, as it might be a form of the melacha of metaken. In certain circumstances, though, on Yom Tov, one may kosher dishes through libun. Libun means is to bring the utensils to a heat that if I look at it, I see that it becomes white. Or I can take a feather or burn, or I'll take a piece of tissue, put it in it, it will burn. That's the highest degree. Okay, we're going to do one more halacha. I see everybody's coming, they're davening. One may only kosher utensils which have become unkosher. Still, once a utensil become unkosher and is koshered, one is free to use it for whatever purpose one chooses, either meat, dairy, or parv. Likewise, if utensils need to be koshered for Pesach, one is free to use them afterwards for whatever type of food one chooses. Pesach uses for meat, it's still meat, right? One may also kosher utensils in order to use them for parv. And if after a while one decides to use them for meat or dairy, one is free to choose either. Sephardim, though, may freely kosher meat utensils in order to use them for dairy and vice versa. Meaning we can play with that. This halacha is very useful for single people that they don't have much dishes and don't want to buy and bother by that. We will learn Be'ezrat Hashem very easy method to kosher a fork with boiling water. Just pour in that, make it parv, or a knife. It's good enough. Okay, and it's easy transition. Can take 10 seconds, and it's very useful method. Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem. Next time we will talk about koshering frying pans and Teflon. Okay, specially coated. Yes.
Does the modern dishwasher allow you to kosherize?
No. You asked me this question before, I think. It helps you to clean it, but not to kosherize it. Okay? It's like using the methods of chemicals and cleaning. Okay. On behalf of Forever Israel Foundation, I want to thank you and thank again to the Muckelstone family for sponsoring the shiur. Be'ezrat Hashem. May they have a whole healthy family.
Amen.
And Be'ezrat Hashem, big mazal tov soon to the Muckelstone family.
Amen.
Good.
Amen.
Thank you.
Chazaku Baruch.
Sakuharu.